Hi, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to get to address all of you. I was told I have to speak about my journey from being a high school student to the CEO of one of India's best investment banks. And as I reflected on how I will tell the story, and always the funny thing about stories is that you already know what the ending is. And then you work back, connect the dots, and when you're looking at your story from that angle, everything looks perfect. Your life looks perfectly in place. You march to the rhythm of finishing school, high school, graduation, getting a job, and succeeding in your life. And it looks like a very linear story. But the reality can't be anything further than that. I have had, whenever I have planned something in life, someone up there had some other design for me. And I've always had to pivot. And I've had to pivot many, many times in my life. And therefore, my story is really not a linear growth story as it seems from the end to the beginning. So let me start from the very beginning. My father was a lawyer and very, very strict about our academics. As you all know, in any middle-class family, academic excellence is the golden ticket to improve your life. So he was very demanding from both his daughters and his sons to be the best in any endeavor that they choose. Ably supported by my mother, who was a very renowned Hindi writer, but also a homemaker, who was equally aggressive with both her boys and girls, that you have to be financially independent, you have to seek professional excellence, and to her sons also, that in addition to professional excellence, you have to be an equal partner for the household chores. So I was brought up in a family that had deep gender equality. I have never known life any other way. And I deeply thank my parents for such wonderful upbringing. Moving on, my first self-confidence booster came like it comes for all of us when I did extremely well in my class 10 exams. Sorry. I couldn't find my photo, so I put my son's photo, but you get the point. And I think since I had never topped any class before that, getting a 90% plus and being one of the toppers of the state of Maharashtra really woke me up to my potential. I was like, wow, if I work hard, I can really achieve what I want. And that was one of the first and the most important lessons in life, is that your marks don't define you. They are not the secret to your lifelong success. But every test, every competition that you go to, have you done your best? And if you have done your best, and the outcome is a wow, that puts in you a deep sense of self-belief. And that belief stays with you forever to withstand the vicissitudes of a lot of curveballs life will throw at you. That I know that with my effort, I am going to succeed. And believe me, that came in handy many, many times in life. And like the very famous English author William Hazlitt has said, as is our confidence, so is our capacity. So moving on, I moved on to junior college. I wanted to be a doctor. Lifelong, I had always wanted to do medicine, the noble profession of medicine. So I worked really hard in class 11 and 12. I did science. But surprise, what was hard work enough for class 10 was not enough for class 12. And that is second lesson for all of you. When you move to the next stage of your life or in any competition, the competition is getting tougher. You have to up your game to a much higher level to succeed. Well, I was not prepared enough. And I missed the medical seat by 1 mark. By 1 mark. And that really hurt. It really stung my pride. It really disappointed me. But I said, it's all right. if I've not got into medicine, it's fine. I will choose another profession. And I decided I will pursue an MBA. And therefore, I pivoted from being a science student to looking at liberal arts. And I moved into one of India's finest colleges, St. Xavier's College in Mumbai. And I did eco, maths and stats. Maths was always my favorite subject, my biggest strength. And it really helped me land a little smoother into the world of liberal arts. I'll be lying if I tell you it was easy. It was very hard. I was surrounded by some super smart kids who were very erudite, who were very well read, who really knew things about politics and literature. And here I was a hardcore science student who had never lifted a head from physics, maths, bio, and I didn't know anything about anything in the world. Again, I had to start from the bottom. I had to get familiar with economics. So I spent long hours in the library, reading up, coming up the curve. And as always, maths was my saving grace, which helped my ego and self-respect and helped me score well. Then it was time, of course, for me to start looking at coaching classes for my MBA. So I still remember in the second year of BA, I started looking for coaching classes, and I found a coaching class, and they had a mock test to even be eligible to be coached. So I wrote the mock test, and I came at the bottom. Bottom means bottom. And the very, very kind owner of the coaching class put his hand on my shoulder, I still remember, and said, Sonia, you have only 1 year. Take my advice. Move on, do something else. I'm sure you'll succeed in whatever you do, but MBA is not possible in 1 year for you to be coached. Well, that incident taught me something priceless. And that is that anyone who doubts you is not aware of your capacity. So I had faced a defeat, but I was not defeated. I was very clear, this time I am going to double up and get into an MBA. I really put my head down and I said, fine, if I'm at the bottom of the class, it only means that when everyone has to study so much, I have to study so much. And that was all to it, nothing more. And I doubled up and I put my head down, and I think the next time I put my head up was after the CAT entrance exam. I never looked left, right, I just focused, I have to do this. I have to prove I can do it. I just have to get my act together. And of course the CAT results came, and I got into every IIM that was there that time. IIM Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Bangalore, Lucknow. I got into all the 4 IIMs. For the obvious reasons, I took IIM Ahmedabad because it's the best. I was very excited. I said I will pursue marketing. It's the trending thing. It's so interesting. You use brands every day. I'm going to be deciding the future of brands, how to position, how to price, how to market. It is so exciting. Ahmedabad is known for being a marketing guru place. So I was super excited when I went to IIM Ahmedabad and started my journey there. First class of marketing. As I sat there, and super guru of marketing was teaching us, as are all the professors at IIM Ahmedabad. Believe me, I didn't understand a word of what he was saying. At the end of the class, I didn't understand what was the point that was being made in the class. It was no fun. I really didn't enjoy it. I tried a lot. I read Philip Kotler backward, forward. All the exams were open book, and you know the meaning of open book exams, that there is nothing in the book that is going to help you. I didn't understand anything, and I was really not getting the rhythm and the vibe and the purpose of breaking your head about so many things. Again, like I said, maths is my savior. I love numbers. I love the certainty. I love that the debit and the credits have to balance. The balance sheet has to balance. You find a way to do it, and that's it to it. And that's when I said, I will pivot. And I decided that day I am going to major in finance, not in marketing. Cut to second year. Of course, it was a wonderful 2 years. I met my life mate, my husband also at IIM Ahmedabad, so it was a very happy ending to my entire 2 years. I had done my summer in a multinational bank. And it was 1995, 1994 is when India liberalized. A lot of MNCs came into India. And you all know their pay packets were like, 2x and 3x of any other Indian firm recruiting at that time. But somehow, I was not enjoying the culture of an MNC bank. I was just not liking the pace. I was not liking what they were seeking. And what I was very impressed during my placement was JM Financial, where the founder himself came, not only for the pre-placement talk, but he was also there in the interviews recruiting people. And I felt this is a place which is really focused so much on its team that the founder is making it the time to come and recruit me and recruit us. And that's when I decided that I will pivot to an Indian investment bank. And I was very clear, I want to work in a place where we do something for the Indian capital markets. This is our home country. I don't want to be a branch of someone in New York or London and be working as a +1 to them. I want to be at the heart of making changes to the Indian markets, make a difference to the Indian clients, make a difference to the Indian promoters, and expand and deepen the Indian markets. Work shoulder to shoulder with all the stakeholders and make India a great place to invest. And believe me, it has been a wonderful journey. Of course, starting again at the job, when I joined it, I joined the M&A team, which is the mergers and acquisitions team. It was surrounded by a lot of seasoned, experienced chartered accountants, very few MBAs, and obviously MBAs had a bad name among chartered accountants because they feel MBAs know nothing. They kept talking about corporate law and income tax laws, and I had no clue what they were talking about. But again, I started from the bottom, sat late in office, read up everything, and used to really hang around in office trying to help whoever I could. All my seniors, whoever needed any help, I said, I'm there, I'll help you. A lot of time, the seniors used to just make me format their presentation and their slides. And I was very happy to do that because I wanted to be a good team member. I wanted to add value, and I think that's a very important thing because end of the day, when people are more relaxed, they have more time to spend with you. They gave me some wonderful lessons for life and for profession, and a lot of them have remained my lifelong friends and mentors. And that is the important thing that I see. Are you really spending time when you get an opportunity to be with the people who you emulate? I see a lot of people taking a lot of pride saying, I run away from office at 5 and I run away from office at 6, which is great if you have something better to do. But early on in life, you have to be very hungry as a caterpillar to just absorb and imbibe and learn everything so that you can add value to your team members. You can add value to any team that needs your help. And that doesn't need a designation. All it needs is a self-will, high energy. And when you're younger, you have the time, you have the energy to do all this. So I would always say, upfront your hard work. Because, that bank that you make of your reputation of being a hard worker, quick learner, will pay very rich dividends later on in life when you may or may not be able to give that kind of time to either your firm, your team, or your clients. So I think that's one of the very important reasons that you must make sure that you are spending time with all the people who matter to you. And then, of course, as I progressed in life, I was very clear I wanted to have children. And motherhood was something that is not easy. And I had to obviously step off the treadmill of deals, deadlines. I was very ably supported by my husband, who has always been an equal partner to me. And I took a step back and focused on more the internal strategy of what the firm should do rather than client deadlines. But the important thing is that I never got off my career. I continued to be there, to add value to the firm in whatever way I could, for as many hours as I could spend. And both my families, my family at home, which is my kids, as well as my family of colleagues in office, were always there to support me. Because my kids never felt bad when I didn't attend a lot of their events and their prize distributions. And neither did my office when I missed a lot of meetings if there was an important thing that I had to attend for my family. So I think it's very important that as a human, you connect with both the teams. Because what often happens is that we exclude either our office or professional people from our personal life, so they have no idea what's happening, what stresses you're going through, and it's no great thing to hide things and bear it alone when you have friends who can cushion a lot of hardships that you're going through. And at the same time, your family, whether it's your parents, your in-laws, your kids, I always try to make them a part of my journey. Because they then understand that, if my mother is not coming for my prize distribution or for my performance, there is really something important that she's doing, and they are always understanding of that. And I think that is one of the most beautiful things about managing, that you have the support of everyone who you have given everything to. And as the kids grew up, of course, I had enough time to come back into my work life. And if you remember, I had never stepped out of it. So I was very much in touch with everything that was happening, or with all my clients, with whatever was happening in the investment banking arena. And very soon, as I progressed and moved through different roles, I moved from M&A to corporate finance, to looking at a lot of group strategy, to finally becoming the CEO. And of course, we have got many, many awards as India's best investment bank, both in capital markets as well as in M&A. So like I said, what are the key learnings? First and foremost, don't shirk the hard work. I see a lot of people wanting the good life, emulating people who have done well. But you need to realize that each one of them embedded within has had a lot of failures, have had a lot of ups and downs. And that is very important, that you put into perspective the hard work that has gone into them achieving that success. And like I keep saying, please upfront your hard work. Work hard today. Work hard when you're young. Work hard when you're capable. And persistence matters more than perfection. Just be at it. Have patience. There will be times when things are very tough. There will be times when things are not that tough. So you will need to zoom in and zoom out, basis what is the workflow of your life and the rhythm of your life. But just be at it. Life purposes will, important to be focused on the purpose and the bigger vision rather than just short-term goals and here and now. Second, and of course, thanks to social media now, when we started our careers, we didn't have the benefit or the distractions of social media and mobile phones, is don't be distracted. Follow your passion. It's very important that the profession you choose, the company you choose, you are vibing with the culture, the ethics, the core values, because once you are clear about what you're passionate about, you will always find time to give it, and you will always be the best at it. Come what may, you will have the ability to rise up because you are focused on your passion. Again, being a woman CEO, I get asked this a lot. How do you balance your work life? And I always say that don't even try it. don't even try to balance your life. You just have to chase harmony, because as you all know, there are days you don't sleep because you write the exam, and there are days you just don't study because it's time for you to relax. So, and that's fine. And it's the same thing in life, right? There'll be days when you don't have time for your work because you're busy with something at home, something personal. And there will be days when you really don't have time for anything to do at home because you're so tied up on some commitment at the profession front. And it's fine. You can't make every day perfect and equal. So don't even try it. And more importantly, make your loved ones part of your journey. As you all grow older, you all will do different things. And what happens is that you all don't think it's important to keep your parents informed, because they won't understand. But remember, whatever you are all heroes of your own lives. But there are many people who have lent their lives to you for where you stand. And never forget that. Please make your loved ones part of your journey and see how enriching it is for them and for you to be traveling the distance with you. Like I said, believe in yourself. There will be many times where a lot of things will be thrown at you. You're not good enough. You're not working hard enough. You have to know your capacity. You have to be confident that even when there are hardships, I can do it. Be kind to yourself. Invest in yourself. Keep learning. Keep growing. Because the day you stop learning in any profession that you are, you will get outdated no matter what is your designation. You have to keep investing in yourself and growing as a human being, and make sure that you're on top of your game, that people seek you. And if you do that, you will always be much sought after, no matter what is your designation, no matter what is your age. And I think the most important, like I said, keep pivoting. Because, like I've already said, every pivot that actually looks like confusion is in fact clarity in disguise. So every time there is a crossroad and you need to make a big shift, you will realize you're going closer and closer to things that is meant for you, which you're best at. So don't hesitate to start from the bottom. Pivot. Believe in yourself. Take the jump and pivot. You will land on your feet. And to end, I'd just like to say, clearly, adaptability to wherever you pivot and inner grit will for sure help you achieve great success. And that success, when you look back and connect the dots, will be a perfect linear line of success. Thank you.